I do want to ask you, when Candido goes to quit, is this an era where I think by this time you would have been? Are you running talent relations then, or not
Yeah,
quite yet? Okay.
yeah.
So when he
Just,
comes,
just getting started. Excuse me, just getting started.
one of the things that has been speculated, and maybe this is accurate, maybe it's not, but it's been said that one of the issues was Shawn didn't like that Candido would do certain moves in his preliminary matches. He's a more cruiserweight style performer, of course, so he's going to do some more flashy, off the top rope, Frankensteiner, plancha type stuff. And I guess Shawn felt like, hey, I'm the main event. That's my bag. You can't be doing that. That doesn't feel like a complaint that's out of left field, but do you think Shawn ever took that too far with, geez, nobody can do anything? I bring this up because we heard him this same calendar year take issue with working with Vader. Now, he's not having an issue with working with Candido, but he doesn't like that Candido does this move or that move. Was Candido out of line? Did Shawn have a fair point, or was Shawn just being a horse's ass?
Well, a little of both. A little of both, quite frankly. Uh, but I understand Sean's dilemma. He had a style. He was undersized. He was a top guy in the territory. When I booked him with Vader, I always felt like that was could be some magical stuff because Sean's lack of size, Vader's was 400 pounds, well north of 300, closer to 400. I'm surmising. So I I don't know, man. I think that Shawn had a bitch because you got to protect your top guy.
Yeah.
That's like back in the day with Mid South where you didn't have too many guys using a power slam as a finish, other than the dog. That's how Cowboy wanted it, and that's how it went. But you have to protect the top guy, no doubt in my mind. So Shawn just had a uh, attitudinal propensity to play a kind of a stiff game, and Shawn had Vince's ear. Vince told me one time that Shawn reminded Vince of uh,
Himself.
of himself, a young Vince. And I think there's something to be said about that. Attitudinal, lived on the edge, and but Shawn was at one point in time during this era was as good a worker as there was in the business.
Hey, so let's talk about Saturday night. It's a shotgun Saturday night, and very quickly we realize, hey, this show is going to suck. But first, let's try some things before we give up on it. One of the things we tried is Sunny, the most downloaded woman in WWE, promoting that next week here on the program, I'm going to show my very own sex tape. This, of course, is all the rage because in this era, people are talking about the Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee sex tape leak, and these
Right.
celebrity sex tape leaks are going to become more of a thing. And so we're going to try to mirror that with our pop culture programming on WWE. And what we come up with, the hottest Christmas gift for Christmas of 1996, and it wasn't even close. The one that parents could not find, they'd pay thousands of dollars for, was a doll called Tickle Me Elmo. And so now we're going to recreate a sex tape with Sonny and Elmo's big brother, Fondle Me Elmo. That's Chris Candido dressed up like Elmo, taking off Sonny's pajama bottoms, and Elmo taking off his bikini briefs. This is a real thing. What the fuck are we doing, Jim?
uh, we're exploring Vince's imagination. Again, he's the catalyst behind this stuff. He wanted to add some sex appeal. Raw was R rated, and one thing that goes along with the R rating is sex, and that's kind of where we found ourselves. It got and a lot of the boys again to pile the heat on Sonny. That was easy to do, and it was happening. she was getting TV time, and a lot of the boys were sitting in the back and catering, waiting for their turn to be called. And so it just piled more heat on her, which is what she didn't need. But in any event, that's where we found ourselves. Too much sex. You probably never hear me say that again, but there's just too much sex in a pro wrestling show.
I want to mention that it's not actually Chris Candido in the outfit. It's actually Todd Pettengill. But our buddy Jim Cornette, he does a fabulous podcast. And a couple of years ago, when he was going through his files, he actually found a letter that Todd Pettengill sent to Kevin Dunn at some point after this skit was shot, which Dunn then sent to Talent Relations, which Corny was copied on. So here's the letter that Cornette found, the contents of that letter. This is written by Todd Pettengill to Kevin Dunn. I just wanted to inform you of a few situations as they pertain to Sonny and myself. I was asked by Vince through you if I would mind giving Sonny a ride every Saturday from New Jersey to Shotgun. I was unwilling to help out in that situation, and this is why. I don't trust her. I do not want to be alone with her. I feel she thinks her star is rising, and there isn't anyone she won't make up a story about to get where she wants to be. I feel I have always been a team player, and I wanted to express my reasons for saying no to this request. Sonny tends to be overly flirtatious, and it makes me extremely uncomfortable. Secondly, I wanted to express what I thought was inappropriate behavior on her part. When I did a shoot for Shotgun at my residence in New Jersey in January, when I played the part of Elmo, Vince called us on his way up to my residence to explain what he wanted from us, and Sonny went ballistic. After Vince hung up, of course, she was ranting and raving about how she was going to bury you. She was going to find a way to make sure you suffered. There were several people around during the shoot, and she said these things directly to me. She then locked herself in my bathroom with her boyfriend, and they commiserated for 15 minutes before reappearing. I just wanted to officially make you aware of these situations. Thank you for your time. Of course, the implication there is it suggested that Chris and Sonny did drugs in his bathroom, and she's apparently not too happy about what was asked of her in this Tickle Me Elmo thing. Do you remember hearing that Todd was uncomfortable with this, and was this the way everybody felt about it?
Well, he's a happily married guy. He had a family, and the bottom line was he just didn't trust her. So, and I can understand that.
Did you trust her?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She was desperate. She had a little taste of stardom, and she wanted more. And however whatever she needed to do to achieve more is what she was willing to do.